Welcome to Tropical Mix. We're back, as I say on my other channel. We're back. Today, I am Cullen.
What are you
But
every other day?
sometimes I'm Colin, sometimes I'm Colin, sometimes I'm some other things. I don't know.
Cullen.
Yeah.
Colleen.
Color. Somebody's called me Color before. Anyway, above me today is Gabe.
I'm Gabe. Other days I've been called Dave and Gage.
Nice. To my left here is Nathan.
Hi, all. I am Nathan. Others have called me Nate or Nath or
Nefton.
Nefton. Yep.
Nathan.
They're opposite.
And then adjacent to me in the other corner is Brett.
Hi,
Now,
I'm Brett,
you have many
otherwise known
nicknames.
as Bert, or Bertua, or Bartholomew, or
Ray
I've been
Romano,
called Brett before.
Ray Romano.
Fuck off.
You had to be there. 2007. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Good. Good shit. All right. Today, I don't know what Nathan's doing here, but
I'm shadowing. That's
All right.
my first day on the job.
all right, good. He's a, what are they called? Intern. Intern.
Interim apprentice.
Yes, there we go.
Yes. I'm an apprentice for what?
For podcast making.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm here and I'm ready to learn.
Nice. All right. But anyway, we are doing our favorite individual developers, not studios. This is probably a bit more complicated than most of you would have liked, huh? Gabe, did you have a tough time with this?
Kind of, yeah. Because at least in my experience, I don't really gravitate towards individual devs. It's more of the companies. But this was a good exercise to maybe I should start doing that to support people. I mean, I have one person that I came up with, but it was hard to think of others.
And I know Brett had a few he knew off the top of his head. So that's good. And then Nathan, if you think of anyone, just feel free to chime in, of course.
I will love to. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. And then at the end, we're going to do a quick recap of our current fantasy draft scores. We're going to do it at the end. Just a quick recap after like a month. So, yeah. All right. Who wants to go first? Nathan?
Should we just wait? Should we start with what we're playing?
Oh, yeah. We always do this.
Yes.
I'm getting too excited. Nathan, what are you
We need
playing
to-
right now?
God damn. Shit. I'm at the first of the queue every time. So what am I playing? I've actually been I've been fucking around and getting triple doubles. I don't know. I haven't been playing 2K, but I guess I use the
Well,
triple
we did.
double metaphor. We did do that.
It was
So yeah, I
garbage.
finished up Metroid Dread finally,
Ooh.
and then I dipped back into the Witcher 3 project. Did that for a while, but then I just picked up playing Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order last weekend. Been blazing through that, and then my wife and I have been playing It Takes Two. So
Nice.
and then
Nice.
and also I've been bringing my Switch to work, and been playing Super Mario Odyssey occasionally there. So that's what I've been up to. I've been actually pleasantly surprised with It Takes Two. The level design is very neat and just a fun adventure game. Muna's enjoyed it a lot, and it's just been it's been a fun game. I think the mechanics and the gameplay are there more cohesively than the narrative. I'm not sure what I think about the narrative yet. We haven't finished it because I've heard a lot of people are had a lot of different thoughts about the ending of how things ended up for all the characters involved. So we'll see. And the Jedi Fallen Order has just been fun. I've forgotten I need to get more into Souls-like games, and it's also been like my daily reminder to want to get back into the Star Wars canon timeline, which is an insane proposition.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, a couple questions. Did you play A Way Out?
My wife and I did for like maybe a couple hours, but then I guess you could say bounced off.
All right. I only ask because I actually enjoyed A Way Out a little bit more than It Takes Two. But anyway, second question was, have you guys played Snipper Clips together?
No, we have not.
That is a good game to play together.
Okay.
It's it's very simple. It's just cutting stuff, but it's kind of wacky, fun. So
Sure.
it's cool. What was the last thing? That's all. I don't remember the last question.
You said 2 questions and you fulfilled your promise.
I originally had 3, so I don't know why I said 2.
How far in Fallen Order are you, Nate?
I just escaped the bounty hunter gladiator situation. So now we're heading back to Kashyyyk for the second time.
I just learned yesterday that there's actually 3 different spots you can get grabbed for that bounty hunter thing.
Oh, really?
And
that's dynamic. It's not just one spot. That's interesting.
Yeah, and apparently it's a different bounty hunter depending on where you are.
I got picked up my second visit to Zepho on my way back to the Mantis after solving.
You were like down in the caves, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Apparently there's 3 different spots down there you can get grabbed, and it's a different bounty hunter.
Are they all in Zepho or different maps?
I think from what I was seeing, it was all like based on if like when you're down in the caves, but I don't know. I played that was so long ago that I don't remember.
Sure.
Gabe, what have you been playing?
In recent weeks, mostly stuff for review. I played the new SpongeBob game, the Cosmic Shake. That was fun enough, but nothing I'll ever go back to. It was just like a good, simple, mindless platformer. The better game I've been playing is called Fashion Police Squad. I played that on Switch. It's like a weird like blend of genres and of gameplay. It's like a 2D art style on top of like a 3D world. It's first person shooter with a pretty wacky premise. Like the premise is that you're this fashion police squad who shoots people that are committing fashion crimes, and like you use not actual bullets to shoot them, but these like specialized bullets that'll like give them like a makeover essentially. It sounds really really silly, but it's actually really really unique, and a game that'll kind of stick with me I think for a while. But yeah, I've finished those 2 for review, and I'm getting back to Death Stranding, slowly picking away at that. And Persona 5 still. I started playing Kirby and the Forgotten Land with my wife. That's pretty fun. Yeah, no, it's been a good time to be a gamer recently for me.
So, are you excited to play Klonoa?
I am, yes, yeah. Because I'm a fan of platformers, most of them.
I don't know if you've really looked at gameplay, but it's very similar to like Kirby actually.
Yeah.
Especially Kirby 64. I think that was a big inspiration for it because it like moves the same way, and you can like throw things, straight or hard to describe. You're on a 2D plane, but you can throw things the other way
Yeah.
or this way. So it's pretty cool. I think I'm on the last mission of the first game. I haven't played it in like a week and a half, but yeah. Weird we didn't get it in the US. We had to import a copy from Europe. But
Yes, I appreciate you doing that. That's so nice of you. Thank you.
that's what friends are for, friends.
Are
Brett.
we friends?
Hmm.
Joking, of course.
We're at least podcast friends. So
No, yeah, right.
all right, Brett, you can be next.
I'm currently going between a few games. Dead Cells. I'm kind of, if I have like 20 minutes after I get off work or like 30 minutes before I go to work, I'll like jump in and try to do a run. I'm really liking it. There's so much variety and there's so many like references to other indie games. And just like trying out new weapons, discovering new areas. There's so many like upgrades you can get and stuff that just opens up the map more to go to new places. And it's hard. It's very hard, but they've added apparently there's been like a few newer updates that added like mutations and stuff that kind of makes it easier for you. So playing that, I don't know if I'm gonna beat it, but it's just one of those kind of in between filler games for me right now. Main thing I'm playing right now is Dead Space Remake.
Yes, you are.
Phenomenal game. I'm on chapter 9, I think, of 12, which the original game I would like play one chapter and then be scared shitless, so I wouldn't play for another month. But I'm loving it. It's familiar, but there's enough gameplay changes that like stuff is different and like it the music's tense, the graphics are amazing. It's wonderful. I'm enjoying that. And then Hi-Fi Rush is not something I was expecting to play, but when they announced it, I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a try. I'm really bad at the rhythm sections of it, like in the combat. I'm just like I'm trying to hit, but like I'm not really focusing on the music while also trying to focus on combat. So I'm not doing as good as I could be, but like the humor is really good. Like the trailer makes it seem kind of like this Chai, the main character, is kind of like cringy and whatnot in the dialogue, but like when you actually get in the game, like it's got that vibe to it. So, and it's pretty short. I'm already like 40% through the game, I think. So
We need more colorful games.
Yes, we do.
yeah.
Less strap, more color. I want to get a month of Game Pass just to play it.
I figured you would have had Game Pass.
I did for a while, but then once it ran out for me, I stopped.
I have yet to try it, but maybe one day. My list is boring, so I want to go last. I have one more trophy for Virtua Tennis 4 World Tour on the Vita, which is just reaching rank A, and I'm close, but a couple more matches to do it. The hard part is finding someone to play with online, especially Virtua Tennis game for the PlayStation Vita. Yeah.
If you give me a
See,
copy, I'll help you.
you said 2 weeks ago you put your Vita in a plastic bag and you're probably never going to take it out again.
Well, this sounds like a situation where I might just take it out.
Yeah. I gave you Freedom Wars. We could play that together.
Are you one trophy away for that game?
No.
Okay, then let me know when you're one trophy away.
All right. Thank you. And then I'm just trying to finish up the grind for Gravity Rush Remastered as well for that platinum. Since you gotta basically get gold rank on every challenge, Gabe, to get the platinum.
Yeah. I was
So
gonna ask what the grind looks like. That sounds awful.
yeah, I don't know. I did a few without even trying, and a couple probably take some more tries, but then you gotta collect like 40,000 total gems, not at one time, just total. But getting gold rank on everything gives you a lot of gems, so hopefully I won't have to grind that too much. But yeah, it doesn't seem too hard, just yeah. Am I playing anything else? I
Do you feel
still
like you?
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. With Gravity Rush, do you feel like you've mastered the flying mechanics?
No, not even close, honestly.
Yeah.
The game's not very hard, so it's kind of very forgiving if you're not very good at the combat. Like I kept forgetting how to do the slide, the gravity slide, and then I had to Google it. But I was doing that down a little thing and collecting all the gems on the way, and that was pretty fun. But I think like fighting in the air is still kind of difficult. But when you slowly get better, you kind of like, okay, this is fun. So I'm interested to see how the second one plays. So maybe one day I'll get to that, but not back to back. Yeah, and then I've been playing a couple Saturn games here and there, just testing it out on my Saturn. So, but I haven't really gotten too deep into anything besides Shining Force 3. So, yeah, that's about it. So, Brett, do you want to go first for
Sure.
your developer?
I kind of tried to focus on people that like worked on games that like were like a decent part of like me and like me growing up and whatnot. So just quick little shout out Ted Price, my man. If you don't know, he founded Insomniac. So the original Spyros, I grew up with and played. Ratchet and Clank's one of my favorite series. Going Commando's like top 5 game for me. I didn't really play a lot of Resistance or Fuse or mostly the PS3 stuff as I'm still working through those Ratchet and Clanks, but also the 2 Spider-Man games and with the new one hopefully coming out this year. I really enjoyed those. So, and it just seems like Insomniac's got a really good work culture. Like they're able to put all these games out with like no crunch being reported and whatnot, and everyone seems happy there. So, yeah.
Did you know they have been voted like best place to work in California like 6 years in a row or something ridiculous?
I would not doubt that.
Yeah. Let me see if I can.
Isn't Activision isn't like the main thing of Activision located in California?
Probably, but it was actually voted as one of the best places to work in America by the Society for Human Resource Management. So, pretty big honor, I would say, especially for a video game developer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so Ted Price, great stuff. But Brett, you're a fake fan. You've never played Disruptor. Your first
What
game,
was
your
that
very
even?
first game for the
What was it
PS1.
even? PS1.
Yeah.
Cullen, we played like 4 games on PS1. So,
But now we've had 15 years of buying games.
well, when we go to high score,
I've literally never seen it anywhere. Is the problem?
They probably sold like 300 of them.
Probably. Yeah. It's released in '96 for the PS1. I've never played it actually either because I've never seen it. But
It
anyway,
looks cool.
I think it's like a Doom clone.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree though. Ted Price, I don't know how involved he is nowadays, but he did his share for the last 20, 30 years. And he, like I said, he created the culture. So Now, he doesn't have to be as hands-on anymore, but he did his part creating this studio and the classic games. Gabe, you said you had one person.
Yeah, just one person. So like years ago, when I played Celeste, I was just like such a like a magical experience for me, with like the gameplay and the story, just the way it all came together at the end. Um, it's a game that was just very impactful for me. So I mean, I looked up like the devs, and then that led me to Maddie Thorson, and just like reading about her and kind of her journey, and how the game seemed to be like a allegory for what she was going through. It was super cool, and then to look back on what else she's worked on. Towerfall Ascension, a game that we played for hours and hours, at Nathan's place back in the day. Just to know that Maddie's been the source of so many hours of fun in recent years for me. Um, but like kind of like said in the beginning, this exercise kind of has taught me that I should kind of take more more notice of the people that make the games that I play. Because I grew up on a lot of Nintendo and Pokemon, and I'm sure there's consistent devs throughout those teams that I should have kind of taken note of, besides the obvious ones like Miyamoto and Iwata and Sakurai,
Masuda.
Suda. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Maddie Thorson, she's great. I'm looking forward to Earthblade, kind of the follow up to Celeste. Looks good.
Sounds cool. Earthblade. Also
Earthblade.
sounds like it could be an Earthbound sequel.
Mm.
They both Earth and B.
Nintendo would never do that. Earthbound
Yeah.
sequel.
Yeah.
Earthblade, the fires of Rubicon.
Nice.
That was Lord of the Ringsy. Nathan, just for you, I looked up a list here. This
Okay,
is an IGN list of top 100 game creators.
I already looked at this.
You did?
I did,
All
In
right.
prep for this meeting,
So,
I just, I didn't,
we
nothing
got some
sparked
big
for me.
names. We got
Okay,
some big
sure.
names. So
Let's hear
Sid
some big
Meier
names.
was number
Sure.
2.
Sure.
I mean, I guess, I
Yeah,
don't
started
agree
a
too
4X
much.
genre.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Will Wright worked on SimCity, The Sims. He was number 3. Kojima, of course. I don't know. There's a whole list. I'm going to link it in the description of the video here in case anyone wants to look at it. I think this is like from the late 2000s, though.
Yeah,
Is
some of
this
the,
this is
I,
IGN's list you're looking at,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
yeah. I don't know when this is from. It doesn't say, but it looks old. Ed
The
Boon, number
latest game they
100.
reference is like 2008 or
Yeah.
2009 release.
Yeah, it doesn't look like 90s internet, but it looks like 2000s or early 2010 internet, like website.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, there's a lot of great individual developers. One of the big ones for me, and this is actually Mark Cerny. So basically most people know him as like the architect of the PS4 and the PS5, right? But this man worked at Sega in the 90s, the early 90s, helped create like Sonic games. He actually founded Sega Technical Institute in America, who developed Sonic 2 and 3 and some other games. Um, Comic Zone, you guys have seen that, the game where you play in a comic book on the Genesis. Um, but then he left Sega and he helped Insomniac and Naughty Dog with Crash and Spyro, which is kind of where he got his PlayStation thing start. And then basically ever since then, he's been working with Sony. He helped create Jack and Daxter, which, as you guys know, is one of my favorite games. So not only has he been a great, developer, and he's had a big hand. I sent you guys a picture of him, showing Michael Jackson the Sega studio in Japan. last week. So he's been a big part of video gaming worldwide, and also, as a PlayStation and a Sega fan, he's been big for me. So yeah, Mark Cerny.
He's got a great voice on top of his great work as a dev. That's why I say that.
Also, his have you guys watched his breakdowns of like the console or anything? He's like super smart, like he knows exactly what he's talking about, which obviously he does, but it's just, watching it is, compared to like a normal person like us, it's just kind of crazy to watch and talk about the hardware of things.
For some reason, I watched that GDC talk he gave years ago. Like I think in the year before the PS5 came out,
Yeah,
where he's kind of talking about it, and he just makes it sound so interesting. The tech.
yeah, I agree. So yeah, Brett, like I said, he helped with Insomniac, so he played a part in that too. But yeah, Brett, why don't you go ahead? You got another one?
Yeah. Max Haberman. He worked at Bungie during the Halo 1 and 2 days. In 2006, he founded CERN Affinity, which they mainly have helped like co-develop a bunch of Halo stuff. So like their first thing they released was the final map pack for Halo 2. But they're kind of like who did Killer Instinct?
The original?
I'm always blank. The one who was like mostly known for porting.
Yep. Oh, Double
Um,
Helix?
Yeah,
No.
I think Double Helix. Yeah. Um, they did a lot of porting, so like they did Left 4 Dead on 360. They did like a lot of Call of Duty DLC map packs, like World at War, Black Ops, most of the Treyarch games. Um, he just like I follow him on Twitter and he's always like tweeting out like old unique stuff about Halo. Like he developed the original Halo 2 like matchmaking system that they used. So like all the ranking, how you connected with players, like the post game lobby and all that stuff. So um and like Halo 2 was like a big like push for that kind of like system, you know? Like Halo 3 had it, Call of Duty adapted it, a bunch of games have. So um it's really interesting. And then they helped on Infinite, and there's a rumored like battle royale game. Well, this was before the all the layoffs, but there was a rumored like project. I think it was like Tanaka or something. That was rumored to be a battle royale, and now it just seems like they're making a new multiplayer game in Unreal, and a lot of people think it's CERN Affinity doing it. So yeah.
Sometimes I think we take for granted small things like creating a lobby or, the post-game lobby or whatever. And how something like just one person does and all of a sudden it becomes standard. Same kind of thing like with even Halo 1 just made like the FPS control scheme that we still use today. But before that, there's only one analog stick. So you had to like rotate the camera with like L and R, and then all of a sudden Bungie and Microsoft add the second one, and the rest is history. So
was that map pack on a disc at that point?
So I know, so I do actually own a disc map pack. I don't know if that particular map pack was on that disc or if that disc had like other map packs that were already released. I'd have to go look.
fun fact: Halo was announced for the Sega Dreamcast.
Really?
Yeah, would have that would have changed history in many ways, because then it wouldn't have had the dual analog stick for one. And I don't know what would have happened with the Xbox, but that would
I
have been
mean,
weird.
to be fair, the original Xbox is basically just a Dreamcast.
Yeah, it's a powered up Dreamcast. Yeah, even the controller is almost identical. Yeah, good times.
What a great name, Dreamcast.
Bro,
So
Dreamcast was brilliant.
so
The marketing.
creative. Yeah.
I mean, launching on 9/9/99. Like, I think, can anybody name another video game launch day? Like console launch day?
Skyrim.
No, sorry, console launch date off the top of your head.
November 15th, 2001. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think also the 360 launch on the 15th, because we had to red ring ours so many times that it reset, and then you have to set up the date and it defaults to that day. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
2005, I think it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
We didn't get it at launch though, so.
No, but it defaulted to that day every single time. So, but yeah. What else I was going to say? I had something.
Something about the Dreamcast and Sega.
No, not quite. I don't know. I keep forgetting things today. I'll come back to it maybe. Gabe, do you have anything else? Maybe.
I don't know.
No. All right. That's fair. This is actually very challenging, even for me, and it was my idea. Because again, there's a lot more to a game than just one person most of the time. So, my second pick will be Shinji Mikami, which we've probably all heard of him, but I haven't played all of his games. I've probably only played maybe 10 at the most, to be honest. But Nathan can attest to this. Brett can attest to this. The second I played Vanquish, I was in love with Shinji Mikami. Because, yeah, Gabe, even Gabe. But I just remember it was like on the back of it was like something about Shinji Mikami. Brett, do you have a copy down here? No, you don't have it on the 360.
I don't.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Anyway, I don't just remember it said something about Shinji Mikami on the back. I was like, okay, this cool. And then I played it, and I was like, I remember actually, first time I played it like it was Uncharted, which you should not do that at the game. I mean, it was still fun, but once you learn the bullet health time stuff, it becomes way more fun. But anyway, so I remember like researching back then about him even, like it was like what, 2010? And then, I learned he made Resident Evil, Dino Crisis, Onimusha, all kinds of
Goof
other
Troop.
things. Yeah, Goof Troop. Yeah, he worked on Aladdin on the Super Nintendo. Yeah. So this man has made a lot of great games. And me and Brett were just talking about him last week, right?
Well,
Uh,
it was
yeah.
a few days ago, but yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say because he was one of the ones I was doing because
Yeah.
he executive produced Hi-Fi Rush. So I've been looking at like this dude has put so many bangers out. Like first Resident Evil game that like literally Capcom coined survival horror genre
Mm-hmm.
because of that game. And he also oversaw 2 and 3. He produced Devil May Cry, which was going to be which originally was a Resident Evil game. I don't know how you go from that to that, but yeah, Aladdin, Decode Veronica. He was the reason like Nintendo had an exclusive deal for Resident Evil games up to a certain point. But
Not to
that,
mention Resident Evil 4.
yeah. Well, because so they put out the remake, and that did really well, and then they did Zero, I think, was after that, and that didn't do very well, and they were worried about the GameCube deal, like Capcom was, but he's like, no, we're fine. And then Resident Evil 4 came out, and yeah, just
Yeah.
banger. And then he helped founded Clover Studio. Oh, but he also did
Rest in
the
peace. Rest in peace, Clover.
he also did the Capcom 5, which so I think it was Resident Evil 4, Killer 7.
With Suda.
There was that one, the first game that didn't do really well, and then
One of them got canceled.
yeah, I don't remember, but and then he joined Platinum, made Vanquish, and then dipped out, made Tango, and then they got bought out by ZeniMax. And but this dude, like, he has been involved in like some of the most beloved like games. Like, he produced the Ace Attorney, the original Ace Attorney games, Beautiful Joe. Like, this dude's
Onimusha.
just put out so many bangers. And then Evil Within 1 and 2, he produced Ghostwire. And I think the best thing about him, like reading about him, like with interviews and stuff, is like he doesn't really want to do anything anymore. He just wants to like let younger talent like in the director roles. He just kind of lets them do their thing. Which, like, you don't get that with a lot of developers, especially like a lot of Japanese developers. They come in, they'll be like, this is what you should do. And of course, all the younger people are going to listen to him because this guy made a game that was good 30 years ago. And
Yuji Naka.
that's not who I was going to go with. But
well, I'm saying he made a game that good 30 years ago, but not recently.
no, I know. But like,
yeah.
The fact that he recognizes, like, hey, maybe this isn't my place to make games anymore. Like,
yeah,
let's let these younger guys do it. And, like,
giving them guidance and advice and stuff.
Yeah. And the fact that he's letting like different people try stuff, like the guy who directed Hi-Fi Rush. Sorry about my peacock hair right now. He developed. He directed The Evil Within 2, and it was someone else who directed Ghostwire. Like, that was someone else's idea. So yeah, it just seems really cool that he like understands, like, I should be guiding people, you know.
Yeah,
so
I agree. I was going to bring that up but I kind of figured you had him on your list as well because we talked about it the other day. But yeah, I also agree that is amazing. Gabe, what are your thoughts on hearing all that?
No, I feel like he's now on my list after hearing like I knew of him, but I guess I've never really dug into his catalog.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely insane how many games he created and made.
Yeah. He was in his Duffy, as they say.
Nathan, you played Vanquish.
I did.
What are your thoughts on Vanquish? I have to get you in the conversation somehow.
Sure. My thoughts on Vanquish. Yeah, it was fun. It's like once you stop doing, as you said, a third-person cover shooter.
Yeah.
Even though you could, I don't know. It's just so insane that there was a button to smoke a cigarette.
And then the robots shoot the cigarettes, and so you can just kill them. That is so cool. What a
yeah,
great mechanic.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, no, it was actually pretty great fun. It was just sliding around bullet time, and I knew what the story was because I had watched you beat it multiple times at different points. But even then, it was fun to play through. Like, it was good high octane action.
And it's not very long, so it doesn't take up too much of your time. It's a great short game.
I think it might be my first platinum game I've ever played.
Yeah, platinum games.
Yeah.
You got to play Bayonetta.
I do. I gotta do that.
I also
sequels are not on PC, so
also, like, reading about him, he when Vanquish was like pretty much wrapped up, like Platinum was super understaffed, which just sounds like a consistent fucking thing with them. But so he sent like the whole Vanquish team over to go help the Bayonetta team.
The goat.
And then after that, he was like, yeah, he's like like his like last 3 weeks there, he was literally just in meetings, not actually making any games. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so he did God Hand too? Worked
Mhm.
on that? Yeah. All right. Yeah, man, this man is crazy.
So I haven't played God Hand. I haven't really looked into it, but apparently it's just like a parody game on like American and Japanese like pop culture.
Like
But
a 3D Streets of Rage, I think. Similar.
so apparently there was a rumor, not a rumor, like an interview or something, where he said if the Resident Evil games go to another platform, he'll cut his head off.
Oh yeah.
And apparently in God Hand there's a dog called Mikami's Head.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. Great guy. Boy. I got two more, but I don't know about you. But
I just got, well, technically two, but they're lumped together. So
all right. Go ahead.
okay, my last two are Jason West and Vince Zampala.
I was gonna bring them up.
Were you?
Not like as a pick, but like I was gonna
Oh.
bring them up.
I mean, like, I'm not like super invested into them and all of their games, but I mean, they released two of arguably my favorite FPS games outside of Halo, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, or sorry, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, and then Modern Warfare 2, which were really the two like Call of Duty games that like started like the Call of Duty craze. Like there had been what, like 5 or 6 Call of Duty games up to that point. Like you had 1, 2, and 3, but there was like 3 different games for 2 or something. Um, but then and they had actually co-founded Infinity Ward together, and then obviously when Activision fucked them over, they founded Respawn. And I also read that after they left, of the 46 people who left Infinity Ward after those two got fired, 38 of them went to work for Respawn. So obviously they had to be somewhat good bosses, right? And then I mean, like, they've only put out 5 games so far, but I mean, when your 5 games are Titanfall, Titanfall 2, Fallen Order, and then Apex Legends, and then they did a Medal of Honor game for Oculus Rift. I don't actually know how good it was, but I mean, they put out some good stuff. I think Apex Legends before Hi-Fi Rush was like the last game that like Shadow really like
Yeah.
from a big studio that like Shadow dropped.
Yeah.
The same day it was announced. So yeah, and we got Jedi Survivor coming out soon. So and I'm sure that's going to be a banger. But yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if you remember this, and this sounds stupid in hindsight, but I feel like we had a conversation when they formed Respawn and said we didn't know if it would be successful. Do you remember something like that?
Kind of, yeah.
How foolish I was to think that. That's why I was going to bring it up. I was going to be like, I mean, obviously they made those two great Call of Duties that are still two of the best-selling Call of Duties. I mean, they all sell like a shit ton, but and then all of a sudden they make Titanfall, which is well received, and they make
Was
Titanfall
stuck on
2.
a shitty console.
Well, and no single player, but yeah. Then Titanfall 2 is extremely, extremely well received, single player and multiplayer. Apparently, has one of the best campaigns in FPS ever.
Not true. good game.
You play the campaign?
I did, and I actually really enjoyed the multiplayer too.
I think,
I enjoyed it.
they just kind of got fucked over on that. They literally
Because
released,
it
I
was
think,
stupid.
what was it, a week
Between
after Battlefield 1, and then,
In
a week
between
before, in between
Call
Battlefield
of
and
Duty.
Call of Duty.
yeah. So,
Insane.
but like, I feel like Respawn's like the reason like EA's starting to embrace single player games again.
Definitely.
So, although
Like,
the news, they just canceled a single player Apex Legends game. So, who knows?
I don't know. But, I mean, we've been hearing cancellations a lot over the last like month from basically every studio or developer, whatever. So I don't know. But one of my next ones is Miyazaki, of course. I have to put Miyazaki in here. Ever since okay. I remember Brett telling me about uh Dark Souls. And I think our father Chris, did he talk to us about Demon Souls way back in the day?
He gave
I
it to
think.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I liked it back when it came out. But yeah, so I remember hearing about it, both of those things. And then it wasn't until I got to play the Neo Alpha that I like understood the Souls genre kind of. And obviously it's a little different, but so after Neo Alpha I played Bloodborne, and then basically from then I just started platinuming every Souls game of all time. And they kind of changed the way I viewed games because I think we've talked about this, but just the way they design the games, the world, the map, like where they put the enemies, like the placement is so specific, and 99% of the time you're not gonna get like an unfair death due to like enemy placements. It's usually, I mean, there's some from soft hitbox cheese and whatnot, but
That first, what was it called? There's a boss fight in Dark Souls 1 where you walk in the fog gate, and there's like the goat demon guy with the two machetes in his hand, but then there's two
oh yeah,
dogs also. And
I mean,
basically, if you don't run up the stairs right away, you're dead.
there's
So,
definitely some, but for the most part, like just the regular enemy placement is so well thought out, and like honestly,
mhm.
it probably took so long for them to even like think of where to put all these enemies in these different areas that it's just like a masterclass in design. Is how I feel, and then they just kept one-upping themselves generally. And if you ask 10 different people, they've played every Souls game, rank them all, you're gonna get literally 10 different lists. Like I guarantee you, not one of them will have the exact same list, which is just insane. And none of them are right, or none of them are wrong. I mean, so. I'm excited to see what they do with Armored Core because I've played a little bit of Armored Core since I got into the Souls games, but not super into it because the last game that came out was like 2012 or something, so a little dated at this point. But I'm excited to see what they've learned from the Dark Souls series and applying it to Armored Core. Because who doesn't like big mechs? Gabe, you like big mechs
I do like Big Macs. I watched Gundam a lot
on
um,
on Toonami?
as a kid on
Yeah,
Toonami.
yeah.
Yeah. And of
I
course,
mean,
Power Rangers, awesome.
yep, yep. Toonami was the we can't swear on here. Well, we can, but I'm not going to. Toonami was the cool stuff back in the day.
It was. Mhm.
Nathan, do you like Big Mechs? Hmm, not really. All right.
I do. Titanfall 2.
True.
A big part of the reason
Yeah,
was mechs.
true.
And
Indeed.
yeah,
If I buy you Armored Core, will you play it?
absolutely.
You heard it here first, folks.
Fires of Rubicon.
Fires
Nate,
of Rubicon.
All spark.
Oh boy,
Every time.
it's gonna be great. What if they
My
shadow
chest.
drop? Okay, let's say they release Armored Core in like May. I'm just
Don't
throwing
be.
out a date, and then they shadow drop Elden Ring DLC. Just a
Don't
what if.
be hasty, Master Cullen. That was Treebeard telling you to temper your expectations for From Software.
No. All right,
Okay.
Brett, do you have anything else? Because I have one more, and I think you all semi-agree with me on this one, which is why I saved it for last. We have Toshihiro Nagoshi, the creator of Yakuza.
Yes.
We've all played a couple games, at least. Nathan, you have to finish Kiwami 2. You do.
I do. I need to.
It's, great game. But not only, okay, well, just for Yakuza alone, he earns a spot on my list, but he has also made Super Monkey Ball, which, not an amazing game, but like it's a fun little party game. Whatever. Just spend some time with that. Made one of my favorite racing games. I don't even like racing games that much, but F-Zero GX is absolutely insane. This
Oh
man
yeah, I
created
didn't know
that.
that.
Yeah. He also, he did Binary Domain. Nathan, you've beat that game. Tell me about Binary Domain, because I still
Voice
haven't beat
controls.
it. But did it work?
It worked, but it wasn't fun to use.
Well, okay. What
Just
about the gameplay and the
gameplay was
story?
okay. It was Gears of War.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll play that
I
one
like the
day.
story though. Story was surprisingly nice.
Yeah. What else? He's made some other stuff. He also he joined Sega in like um in the late 80s, early 90s. And he basically helped create a lot of the games. He worked on Shenmue. He worked on a bunch of stuff. I don't know, like he has a long ass list of things he's worked
And
on
he
also.
working on Virtua Fighter?
He's worked on Virtua Fighter, but I don't know how in depth. He was the CG designer of Virtua Fighter, the first one. I don't know what CG is. Maybe cinematic? I don't know. Yeah. Supervisor on Shenmue. Oh, uncredited director of Shenmue with Yu Suzuki. Yeah, Monkey Ball, F-Zero, Sonic Heroes, Shining Force on the Game Boy Advance, Valkyria Chronicles, House of the Dead, Puyo Puyo, Bayonetta, Vanquish, chief producer of Vanquish, my guy. Yeah, I don't know. So there's all kinds of things. You can look that up if you like. And now he has his own new game company. Sad to see him leave Ryuga Gotoku, but I'm excited to see what he does with his new company that he founded 2 years ago. So hopefully we get a game soon. But yeah,
It'll be wacky and goofy, I'm sure. And
yeah.
fun.
I think
Oh,
I saw a thing that he said he kind of wanted to do like a Yakuza-like game, but in like Europe or something.
yeah. I think I
Like a
remember
European
reading that.
setting.
Something like
Oi, bruv.
that.
I would, God.
Oh man, have you guys seen those like photos of him like just sitting on a throne, looking like he's a Yakuza member? He
No,
looks
but I will look it up.
he looks so cool, honestly. I'll edit the video if you're watching the video and put it up on the screen real quick. This man,
Should put that in the thumbnail.
Brett will put in the thumbnail. Toshihiro Nagoshi on a throne. It makes sense if you think about it. He's the last person we talked about here.
Right.
Uh, So I don't know. I'm weird and I always research things way too in depth, to be honest. I've always done that. So I've like always kind of looked into individual developers, at least for like the last 15-ish years since I was a teenager. So that's kind of why I wanted to bring this up. Uh, a lot of developers haven't aged gracefully though. Not, I mean, like, okay, like Yuji Naka hasn't made a good game in 20 years, but he was also the creator of Sonic. So he and Nights into Dreams, and he could make some good stuff. But yeah, he just released Balan Wonderland, and nobody in the world liked that game. So
That's probably not true.
it has like a 46 on Metacritic.
It's bad.
Yeah.
And he's been arrested twice recently.
Yeah, some weird stuff. I don't know. But that's why I want to bring up developers we love, game creators we love.
It's a good idea. That was cool.
Thank you. What
Peter
we're going
Jackson.
to do? Hugh Jackman?
Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson made a great King Kong game. And also was in the Lord of the Rings games. There you go.
Nate, do you have that?
Do I have that?
Game?
I'm not sure if I do. Probably not. It might be at my mom and dad's place.
Because I couldn't remember if you had it or if you borrowed it from Avi.
I think I borrowed it from Avi. He was hyped about that game.
I want to play it, and you can't buy it. Like, it's backwards compatible, but you can't buy it. And I was looking up, like, used game prices, and it's like $60, $70. I'm like, ooh.
Sheesh.
Well, real quick here. I'm not sharing my screen. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen. Present a tab. All right. Can you see it?
I can see clearly now.
All right. Quick recap after 1 month, approximately, of our Tropical Mix League. In 4th place, we have myself with 0 points, because I have not had a game release yet.
Or you're a
Gabe?
scrub.
Gabe in the cool 3rd place with 1.28 points. You know where you got that 1.28 points?
Counterpicking Forspoken, wasn't it?
Yeah, let's go.
That right there could be the difference between winning 1st place or
doubt
2nd place. Actually, we're projected the exact same amount of points, but somehow you're projected to be in 1st.
Makes sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. In 3rd, we have Nathan, Tall Cup of Water Productions.
Your inverse controls are on. I'm 2nd, not 3rd.
Sorry, I'm so used to playing Jack and Daxter on the PS2 that yeah. Come on, we just talked about that last week. All right, Nathan here. What do you got? You got -1 point for Spoken. Wow.
Square Enix, what are you gonna do?
I feel like they should have gave you the point though. 69, like nice, dude. Like
I actually should have just had me win the whole thing.
Probably. And then you got 11 points for Fire Emblem. Good choice.
Good pick.
Choice.
Solid.
good choice.
Fuck you.
Whoa, what happened to the no cursing deal?
You.
Nice.
Brett is chilling in 1st place with Dead Space Remake 20 points because of the OPS 90. No, I'm just kidding.
The 90
90.
shocked me, honestly.
Yeah, I thought I'd
Get
get like an 85. Yeah.
Apparently, I can attest to it, but they did a very faithful remake and then some. So
Yep. Brett has the next game coming out on the 10th, couple days, 5 days from now, with Hogwarts Legacy. Anybody know when reviews are coming out for that? Because 5 days away is kind of cutting it close already.
If not now, I bet the day before.
Yeah,
That's always a risky thing when you do that.
I
It's
feel
like
like every game this year's. Well, I mean, granted, we've had what three released, but like the reviews came out like the day before.
That's true. It's just weird. Remember in the past that would be like a big red flag
Yeah,
for the most part, at least. Like Sony's always like a week or two in advance usually.
a lot of
But
games used to do like so. Like if a game came out Friday, like Monday, the review would be out.
yeah, which is good for people who want to buy the game. After that, this month we got Wild Hearts and technically Ishin. If you pre-order, the deluxe edition comes out. They both come out on the 17th. I picked both of those. The previews for both are looking good, so hopefully that'll get me some good points. Nathan on the 21st with Atomic Heart.
That's a game.
Yeah.
Bro, I can't read or talk today. Give me a break.
It's been a long day.
Been a long day. Okay, this is just a weird, like, we got games releasing on the 21st. That must be a Monday.
So literally no space to breathe this month, apparently.
Yeah.
That's Tuesday, so that's the
That's-
normal day.
Well, okay.
Horizon coming out on Wednesday is
Yeah,
weird.
that's why, no matter what day it was going to be weird because it was the day after the other stuff. I
think
guess
it's different because it's like a console release. It's coinciding with, right? Or
yeah, but still,
accessory
why would you release a fucking PSVR, a flipping PSVR on Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, how uneventful.
Well, it's the middle of the week. I'm gonna go pick up my PSVR 2.
It's hump day. Let's go get my
Yeah.
PSVR.
My
Guess what
Pregnant
day
Wife
it is?
VR remastered on
Nice.
Hump Day. Yay.
Look like humps back on the menu, boys.
Yep. Oh, and then Friday that day. Wow. Friday that week. We got Kirby's Return to Dreamland. Also me. And we also got Octopath Traveler by Gabe. And then Destiny 2 Lightfall by Nathan.
Surefire expansion. Let's go.
Yeah. Yep. And then first week of March, Wolf Long Fallen Dynasty. That's one of my most anticipated games of the year. And then at the end of the March, we got Resident Evil 4 by Gabe.
That's getting a 90. Take it to the bank.
I believe it, to be honest.
What about their banks? They don't need those. Ooh, they look tasty. Get back, scum.
What is happening here? Do the Ratchet and Clank sound real quick. Yeah, there we go. Now do Gollum.
I feel bad doing Gollum. I don't do a great work of it.
All right.
Oh, did any of you did any of you see the HBO Mario Kart trailer?
No.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Come on, Colin, can you throw it up? Let's watch it.
But The Last of Us is on right now.
You'll want to see this trailer.
All right, we're going to switch our Ape Quest. Okay, Nate, this is Arc, by the way.
Okay, show me.
Can you see the sidebar? No.
No. Sidebar.
Never mind. I'll show you later. What do we want? Mario Kart trailer?
Mario Kart HBO trailer.
I think you guys are going to enjoy that, but I'm going to hop off. This was a good discussion about game devs and me being in first place.
This guy's fiending for Pedro
It's
Pascal.
supposed to be in first place. All right. Adios. See ya.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh, what? This is awkward. I almost reported my own presentation.
Self-sabotage. Yummy.
right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna end the podcast here, and we're gonna watch the HBO Mario Kart trailer together.
Be
So-
ready for next week, though. We're all meeting up in person. We're gonna play a lot of multiplayer games. Probably record an episode
Wait, is that next week?
next Saturday.
I thought it was the 18th.
Isn't that next Saturday?
My guy, it's the 5th.
Oof,
I said next Saturday, not like this coming Saturday. This next Saturday.
The next Saturday coming is in 6 days.
next
Next Saturday implies next week, sir.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
It depends
When
on
you're
where you're
say-
in
from.
line,
If I was talking about this Saturday, I would have said this Saturday.
when you're in line at the ice cream shop on Monday and they say, okay, next in line, are they talking about you in line or are they talking about tomorrow's line and whoever's in first?
It depends. Is the person in front of me still standing there?
No, he's licking his ice cream that fell on the ground.
Let
See,
us
that's-
know in the comments. Is it this Saturday or next Saturday?
Yeah,
So honestly, I've never.
who's the dumbass here, me or Nathan?
This is insane. Next,
Listen.
what is next ever meant the second one, the one after the next
Colin,
one?
what's your opinion here?
My opinion is if we're talking about this week, we would say this Saturday. So I agree with Brett. But we also grew up together with families, so that might be why.
Yeah, y'all are
We need Gabe
reading
back
the
in
wrong
here.
ass calendars. I don't know
We
what
we
the
need
hell.
Gabe back in here
The
for this.
next. Okay, the next day, is that tomorrow or is that the day after tomorrow? Or is that next week's next Monday?
Oh,
The
boy.
next day would be tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, all right. All right, it's all love.
Oh boy.
You're
Anyway,
Say I'm
let
wrong.
us know
We'll
who's
debate
wrong in
about
the
this.
comments.
Next Saturday. Next Saturday.
Be on the lookout for Saturn Bomberman video.
Oh my God, hop off.
No, that game is amazing. Multiplayer action. Beach Spikers.
I'll never ever want to touch that game.
Bro, that game
That
is
was a waste of
hecka
5
fun.
minutes of my life.
Bro,
Brett fucking saved me. He said what I couldn't say.
We just played Ratchet Deadlocked multiplayer.
Yeah, that
That
was
was
an awful choice too.
Marginally better. It
We-
was actually not. It was a bit better.
The big tank thing kind of
Would have
ruined
been
it.
better without the tanks because
Yeah.
that shit was OP.
What else do we play? We played fucking
Wrestling.
Royal
We
Rumble
played
for
lots of
39
wrestling.
minutes. Yeah.
All right, let's watch this trailer.
Yeah, I'm stopping the recording here, boys. If you're watching this, check out the podcast on your way to work next time. If you're listening, there's a video too. You get to see Toshihiro Nagoshi. So click on the video on YouTube. Goodbye. So long.
Bye.